So update 5.5 is finally here, and aside from the removal of certain tanks from the tech trees to be turned into collectibles, there are also some additional tanks, especially on the German tech tree line. Now what they've done, they've retuned, for want of a better word, the mouse line and inserted new tanks, of which this little gem here is one of them. This is the Tier 8 VK100.01 P. It's a new German heavy, and it will eventually lead you to the mouse. So, update 5.5 came out first thing this morning. I updated my client and took this for a roll. So, what's it like? Hello again everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz, and update 5.5 has finally come. Now, one of the things it's done is inserted a new branch to the German tech tree, starting at the Tiger P. Now the Tiger P will split, and you can go to the Ferdinand, or the VK100.01 or this little gem, the VK100.01 P. That will then lead you to the Tier 9 Mauschen, which will eventually lead you to the Tier 10 Mouse. Now, previously, the VK4502 led you to the mouse. It doesn't do that anymore. It now leads you to the VK7201K, another new tank. So we've got 3 new tanks in the German tech tree, from Tier 8 to Tier 9 to Tier 10. But what about this tank? Well, historically, it didn't exist. It was a blueprint. This is, by all accounts, a paper tiger. It was designed in 1942 and never really got off the drawing board. Simple as that, really. So there is absolutely no real tank that follows this tank. So Wargaming have taken a few liberties, but hey, it's a game. So what's it like? Well, let's have a look at the armor first. And as you can see here, wow, it's pretty trolly. It's basically a mini mouse. It's as simple as that. You know, I mean, this leads to the mouse, so the armor is quite trolly. Like the mouse, it's slow and it's cumbersome. Now, it comes with 2 guns. One at Tier 8, which is the 10.5cm AL52, and a Tier 9 gun, which is the 128mm AL50A. Now, I've got the 10.5cm gun on this tank at the moment, and as you will see, it's not a big damage machine. What it does do, however, it has a reload of less than 15 seconds, which is, wow, a long time. The glorious thing about this tank, though, is not the gun. Let's be honest. It's the same as the mouse. The glorious thing about the mouse is not the gun. It's the armor. Now, as you can see here, we've already bounced 400. We've put no shots in, realistically, and we've not had any targets present to us at the moment. Like the mouse, if you angle this thing, boy, will you bounce. So we've already bounced 600, and we've just taken 265 with the not-so-big gun. And really, this isn't a massive damage machine gun if you stick it in. It will do about 310 alpha on the main AP rounds, about 260 on the APCR, and 420 on the HE. The penetration values, well, again, on the AP it's about 210, on the APCR it's about 256, and on the HE it's about 66. So, don't expect a massive damage machine here. What you do expect, however, is a massive ball of rubber. I mean, we've so far bounced 1,100 damage. We've only dished out 265. This is the thing about this tank. It will bounce almost everything. And of course, you will get penetration every now and then. And now we've done 400 damage, but bounced 1,500. This tank will, put it in the right position, angle it correctly, it will be like a mouse. It's a bully. I mean, that poor Gravedigger, which was the bounce machine up until now, is now struggling against this tank. It really is. And the glorious thing about this tank is, it will penetrate the Gravedigger, but you've got to angle this tank correctly. If you don't, you will get penned. The armor profile, like I said, is similar to the mouse. It's not that much different. I mean, with the mouse, you've got to angle it in a certain way, you've got to sort of turn the turret a little bit, and then you'll bounce them. Now, look, we bounced 2,500 and only dished out 1,100. This thing is just like a ball of rubber. Everybody is going to find it difficult to pen you if you put it in the right position. The other problem you've got with this tank is its speed. It ain't the fastest thing in the world. And it hasn't got the fastest reload. I mean, this is the lower gun, and it's still just shy of 15 seconds, which is an eternity when you're only dishing out I alpha of 300. It is a long time. And, you know, that's the thing that kills this tank, in my opinion. Its loading time is just awful. And, okay, it's a balancing act because the armor is so big that if you did have a low load on it, it would probably be OP. But you know, when you're only doing out 300 alpha and you're taking 15 seconds to load, it seems to me to be slightly wrong. You know, they need to lower the load time, in my opinion. The load time is just too long. It really is. And that's the biggest downside to this tank so far. Look at it at a different perspective. This is a tier 8 tank that eventually leads you to the mouse. The mouse has a quicker load time than this. So the tier 10 tank, which dishes out, well, slightly more damage, has a faster load time by almost 5 seconds than this thing. This is why I think it's not right. It's the wrong load time. Now, I'd understand it if this was a derpy gun. I'd understand it if you were dishing out, I don't know, 500 alpha on this gun. Then yes, you're going to have a long load time. But when you're only dishing out 300 and the tier X tank in this tree, which is the mouse, is got a load time 5 seconds faster, I don't think you got it right, guys, is my opinion. And that's the thing. But as I said, it's all about the armor on this thing. And it is pretty trolly, as you can see here. We've knocked out 1,800 damage, but we've blocked 3,220. I mean, that is an excessive amount of damage. I mean, we've blocked double our hit points. Our hit points is 1,560, and we have blocked double that. I mean, that's just obscene. Now, okay, you've got to put it in the right place. You've got to angle it correctly, because if you don't, then yes, people can pen you. And people really can pen you with APCR. But you know, 3,200 is a lot of bounce. It really is. And okay, there's an argument to say if it had a faster load time, it would probably be broken. But I'm not getting that. Not when you've only doing out 300 damage. As I said, if you're dishing out more damage, then yeah, it would be awesome. But, you know, this is just the lower gun, and this is, you know, one of the first games I took it out in. Just to give it a whiz and see how it was, and it was okay. I mean, look at this. That's another VK. I can pen him from here, and I do, and we win the game. And we do 2,300 damage. We bounce 3,220, and not a bad roll really. We get a 3rd class for our troubles, and you know we get a steel wall clearly, and we're not the top tank. So rolling out again, this time on a supremacy, and you know we're the bottom tier tank now. Look at this speed. I mean, the speed is just really slow. I mean, you're going to be hard put to push 20 kilometers an hour in this thing. And, you know, that coupled with the 15-second reload, again, I've got the lower gun here, sort of makes this tank a disappointment. Yeah, okay, you can block everything and you're going to bounce a load of stuff, but getting to the battle is going to take you an eternity, and loading is going to take you an eternity too. And that makes it disappointing, especially at tier 8. I mean, you would have thought that at tier 8 you'd have a slightly better reload, and you know you haven't got the same armor as the mouse. I mean, you've only got 1,500, so you'd think that your engine will be a little bit better, and you probably get a bit more speed than a mouse. But you're not. You know, you're a little bit slower on both counts, to be fair. So, have they got it right? Well, like I said, I mean, this is a paper tank, so, but I mean, look at that, I mean, the gun depression is fantastic. I mean, to be fair, don't forget, I mean, this is a forward turret, unlike the mouse, which is a rear turret, so you actually get better gun depression, which is nice, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a good thing. And here we go again. We've bounced a load. We've taken 500 damage because we haven't got the bigger gun on it. But it's just slow. It really is a slow tank. And, you know, it's a tier 8. It's not easy to get to grips with. And I think a lot of people may struggle with this tank. A lot of people may camp in it because it hasn't got the punch that the mouse has. I mean, you can't stick this in front of everything. I mean, okay, I've taken out the VK, but watch this Ferdinand. I mean, this Ferdinand will, every single shot will pen me. Regardless of what angle I put, he will pen me. It's as simple as. Now, the gun itself is, like I said, apart from the reload, it's pretty accurate. And you'll regularly knock out around 300 alpha. So far, we've done, what, 1,700. Okay, we got a fire on the VK, but watch this. You think you're penning, and you're not. It just bounces. And the Ferdinand pens you, regardless of your angles. Things will pen you. And that Ferdinand has got a better reload than we have. So, and this is why I'm sort of mildly disappointed. I'm not mega disappointed. And we bounced the Ferdinand again. Like I said, I'm not mega disappointed. I'm just mildly disappointed because everything is just slow. It's like slow. But the gun is accurate. You'll knock out some good damage in it. Not mega damage. I mean, we've done 2,000 here. We've only bounced 600. Oh, but boy, waiting for this reload is, you know, at tier 8, when you, oh, we finally bounced something from the Ferdinand. But, and we bounced again from, I think that was from the 44, not the Ferdinand. So, you know, we're bouncing 1,000. We've knocked out 2,300. Now, you know, the Ferdinand's going to try and push because he knows that he's penning me most of the time, and I'm not penning him. I bounce him yet again. I mean, the penetration values aren't the best on this tank. They're really not. And when you've got such a high reload, you'd expect either bigger damage or bigger penetration. One of the two. And when you haven't got either, it's a disappointment. And we didn't finalise the Ferdinand, but we finally get one into him. And we have a relatively good game. I mean, we did 2,600 damage, another steel wall, we get a second class. We're not the top tank. And, you know, and this is the thing. Now, this is the tank with the bigger gun. This is the tier 9 gun. And boy, does it take a long time to load. I mean, this takes almost 17 seconds. I mean, boy, it's a long time. It really is. It's a bigger gun, yes. You get better penetration. You get slightly better damage. But you're not going to be setting the world on fire. And look, you still bounce. Well, I think I bounced. I have no idea where that shot went. I thought I was on him, and it obviously I didn't have anybody record it was a bounce, so I don't know. Maybe it's just the RNG gods, and now I can't get hold of him. But we're still slow, and now the reload is even slower because we've got the bigger, derpier gun. And, you know, I get with this bigger gun, with the slightly better pen and the slightly better damage, it's going to be slower. But it ain't that much slower than the lower gun. It's as simple as that. And you know, I think that's why I'm disappointed. But it does dish out almost 500 alpha. So I don't mind how slow this one is, because the damage is a lot bigger. And because I can bounce more, and because I've got bigger damage, then yes, I appreciate the slowness of the reload. I just don't get it in the tier 8 gun. It makes no sense to me. Oh, here comes the Panther 2. What can we do? 431. So you can pen and get a lot more damage with this gun, but you're waiting a long time. And here we go again. Look, another. We've done 900 damage so far and bounced 400. And you know, this is the thing about this tank. It's slow, but it's bouncy. I mean, that Panther 2 hardly took anything out of us. What, 100 hit points? That was about it. And, you know, but now, look, you've got to back away. You've got to wait for the gun to load. And you're not exactly quick in backing away or going forward or doing anything. And, you know, that the T-34 1776 is going to be able to pen you because he's got good pen values on his gun. So you've got to be mindful of all of this. And at tier 8, I think, personally, quite a few players will struggle with this tank. Yes, the experienced players and the good players won't. They'll adapt easily as per usual. Now here comes the Chieftain. What can we do? Another 460 damage that time. So we've done 1800 damage, block 400, and now it's back to a go slow. Slow on the tracks, slow on the engine, slow on the reload. The one good thing about it, as I said, well, two good things. The aim time is really good, to be fair. I mean, it doesn't take that long to aim it. And the other good thing about it is that it's pretty accurate. You know, it's not an inaccurate gun, but here we go. I mean, the T-34 is going to pen me. Can I pen him? I should be able to. He's not hull down. Yeah, I get just shy of 500. Not a eye half a roll. He pens me again. Now we're in a sort of brawl. I'm trying to angle up to him, going down the hill. Maybe I can keep that glacis plate low. I get another 430 into him. Again, not an eye half a roll. I managed to bounce 400 from him because I'm angled correctly and I'm down the slope, so he can't really get that lower glacis plate. Can I get to him? I mean, he's still pretty healthy. He's certainly not a one-shot. And another 450. He pens me with another 380. I'm now a one-shot to him. He's realistically a one-shot to me. This tank is very good for ramming, by the way. You'll get a lot of damage out of it from ramming. Oh, I just managed to reload quicker only because I dropped the adrenaline. So, we've done 3,500 damage, which is a lot more than what we did in the tier 8 gun. And we've blocked 800. We've got only one kill, but there's Leo, and he's pretty easy to pen for me. And now we've only got an object to go. Now the object's looking pretty healthy, so he's not a one-shot for me. I've got a Leo PTA. Oh, the Leo's gone. The object now is a one-shot, if I'm lucky, but I'm only 915. I'm a few points away from winning. Why should I risk it? I'm not going to, because the object can probably pen me. He's a higher tier than me, so let's retreat and see what we can do. Try and angle. I know he's going to have trouble coming around the corner. I'm not. Oh, and we get the win. A bit cowardly. And look at this. Bounce. Good job we retreated. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. And we get a second class, 3,500 damage. We were the top tank. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like the tank. I do like the tank, actually. I think it's an interesting tank to run around in. But I'm disappointed. And I'm disappointed not with this gun. Again, this is the tier 9 gun. I'm disappointed with the tier 8 gun. I expected a much faster reload when you're only dishing out 300 damage. And I think just shy of 15 seconds is too much. And it spoils the tank. If you're going to have this derpy gun on it, which is knocking out 500 alpha, then yes, just shy of 18 seconds probably is fair considering the armor. But not for the tier 8 gun, not when you're only dishing out 300 alpha. Dropping it down by 3 seconds is, in my opinion, pants. It really is. So that's why I think this tank's a mixed bag. I think it needs to be nerfed. It's only just come out, and already I think you need to nerf it. You need to change these reload times because they're just far too long, especially on the lower gun. And who knows? You know, maybe it will get nerfed. You know, I think it's a tank with potential. I don't think it's as great as people think, and I really do think people are going to struggle. But only time will tell. I mean, I went out this morning and I enjoyed it. It's an interesting tank. It's a mini mouse at tier 8. So who knows? We'll see. Time will tell. But as I said, I think it's not right. I'm not going to say it's broken. I just don't think it's right. And I don't think it's right because of that reload time for the tier 8 gun. That, to me, is just... it just spoils the tank. Because it's tier 8, guys. I mean, 15 seconds to reload at this tier. is not the best, and you're going to get a load of players either camping in it or just not playing it to its worth. And you know, okay, put the derpy gun on it, and it's a bit different. You know, okay, it's a 3 more second reload, but hey, you're dishing out over 200 more alpha. Who knows? Let's wait and see what happens next. Anyway, like I said, I mean, I've always said I'm not the best player in Blitz. I rolled this out this morning, not knowing much about it. To be perfectly honest with you, I didn't really know. I played it as if I was playing a mouse to an extent, and then I realised that you can't play it like a mouse. I mean, with a mouse you can get up close and personal. In Bully, you really can't in this, I don't think. It's a different style of gameplay. It's a welcome addition, but disappointing. But as I say always, these are just my opinions. Maybe you've had more fun in it. If so, by all means, if you've got any replays, send them to fujitsblitz@gmail.com or even comment below. I want to know your thoughts because, as always, I want to know what you guys think. So, I hope this has been a useful video. I hope it's been insightful. And until the next time, guys, stay safe, have fun, and happy tanking. Hey, I've been Fujit and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments, tell me what can be improved, and tell me what you'd like to see. I really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.